Hey, what's up guys? My name is Bill. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Cars That Last. On today's video, how long will a Chevy Suburban last? This video I'm going to interview one owner owning two Chevy Suburbans with over 500,000 combined miles. It's truly a testament to the Chevy Suburban. If you did a search on any one of the cars for sale sites, you're going to find any vehicles over 300,000 miles for sure. You're going to find the Chevy Suburban. These are big trucks. You can fit 8 people in them. You can fit a ton of gear in them. You can fold down the seats and get 8-foot sheets of plywood in there all day long. They have 4-wheel drive. You can get them through snow. You just have to learn how to land it in the mall parking lot if you take it to the mall. So, great vehicle. So let's get started on that. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you, shout out to my subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I've got a lot more great materials coming your way, so consider hitting that subscribe button. So let's get in to take a look at the trucks. All right, so I'm here with Jim, who has two Suburbans. He's a huge fan of them. And Jim, can you tell us a little bit more about what we're looking at right here?
Yeah, this is my 2001 Suburban that I purchased new January of 2001. This vehicle's been anything but babied. It's been down ATV trails. It's been 4-wheeling in the Grand Canyon. It's gone through all kinds of mountain roads. It's been through different back roads in Canada. So definitely not babied on it, but she's held together rather well for me.
Okay. How many miles do you have on it right now?
344, 345, somewhere in there.
Okay. So what kind of servicing, what kind of repairs have you done to it?
Well, I'm going to knock on wood because I really have not done anything but just change the oil and general maintenance on it. Tranny's been flushed. Other than that, I have not really put any money into this vehicle, which is why I haven't given it up. Okay, so you don't have a new transmission? Nope,
no new engine
transmission.
Okay, what year is this again?
2001.
2001. And what do you know what motor this has? Is that the 5.3?
5.3.
Okay, yep. V8. Okay, so what kind of driving have you done with this vehicle mostly? Is it mostly highway or city?
It's a combination of both. I used to work downtown, so it was doing the stop and go, going to Minneapolis every day, and a lot of highways heading to the lake home, and lots of trips with the family. Okay, so I guess probably what a lot of viewers would want to know is, how confident are you with this vehicle going forward? Like, how reliable is it? Would you consider it even to be a good buy at 344,000 miles? Yeah, it would, which is why I haven't gotten rid of it. I still have no problem taking it on trips, taking it to the cabin. Whenever I'm hauling stuff that I don't want to get my newer Suburban dirty with, we use this one and load it up with firewood and haul that from up north. When I don't want to pull a trailer, I just flip this second row down. Third rows generally don't really live much in my Suburbans. Okay. Okay, well, see some of this orangish color? That's actually from mud from the Grand Canyon that we were talking about.
And this is a Minnesota truck, right?
And this is a Minnesota truck. It's always been in Minnesota. This is base. You can see. Oh yeah, I guess I replaced an alternator once.
Okay.
I can see that right now.
I guess we'll allow that to happen, huh?
That happens. Other than that, original radiator, air conditioning, everything is still good.
Everything's still good?
Put a new battery in it last winter.
Okay. So, overall condition of the truck now, what would you say? How would you describe it?
I guess you would have to say fair. It's got a bit of rust. And like I said, I don't baby my truck. They get beat on. They're expected to work.
Yep. So this one's worked. You've worked it hard, and you could still take this down. Let's say you had to go to California today from Minnesota. Would you feel comfortable taking this truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was to Colorado a little over a year ago.
Okay. So what's the overall condition of, say, like the interior?
That shows sign of wear. It has a lot of time in and out. You can see the driver's seat is obviously what's beat up the most. Actually, my son has a bunch of stuff in the back of the truck that he was hauling, so to move out. But other than that, you see we have the cord set up to use it.
Yep. It actually looks really clean. You know, other than the seat tear, I don't see really any issues with it whatsoever.
Yeah, well, we didn't clean the car for your visit. You're getting it kind of the way it is.
All right. So you're talking about rust, Minnesota rust, obviously down in the rockers, a little bit on the rear, right here coming through, and tailgate. We've got some rust coming through up here. But other than that, maybe the bumper's got a little bit of rust. And then on this side, same thing, same rust spots. Probably due to the Twin Cities traffic and salt on the highway. Other than that, it looks like it's pretty good shape.
Yeah, I mean, it has the dings in it from use. Other than that, it's a truck.
Yep.
They're meant to be used. Right. You know, it's not a grocery getter.
Cool. Vehicle 2 is, what are we looking at here?
This is a 2013 Chevy Suburban LTZ, so a few more bells and whistles on it than the LS of the older one. It needed to get a new vehicle because showing up in my line of work with a rusty vehicle isn't exactly the way you should do it when you're working in the financial industry, so I needed something with a little bit more polish. But this one takes the same abuse. The other thing on it is it has the load leveling rear, and some of the trailers that I'm hooking up to it are rather substantial dump trailers and some rather heavy boats. And so to have that load leveling suspension on the back helps, and it also has the built-in electric brake module for those trailers.
Okay.
So
how many miles do you have on this one, on the 2013?
It's 170, I believe, 3,000.
Okay. So combined Suburbans, you have over 510,000 miles on two Suburbans. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on vehicles that have been heavily worked and used as trucks.
Yep.
And they've been rather good to me.
That's great. And this one, the new Suburbans 2013s, what motor do those have?
This one also has the 5.3.
Okay. Okay, so you know, obviously you're a huge fan of Suburbans. They work really well in your life. What kind of advice would you have for somebody looking for a Suburban, maybe even an older one, or maybe one of these newer ones? You know, what would you recommend?
First of all, I wouldn't recommend buying one from me. Because they've been ridden a little bit harder than your average Suburban on it, and actually been used on it. The Suburban, advice of looking for one, obviously prior owner is everything. Going through that, making sure that they haven't run anything, what they've been used for, you know, and what are the maintenance records. Do you change the oil on a regular basis? What type of oil are you using, the synthetics or the non-synthetics on it? It seems to make a hell of a difference on them.
Okay. And your older one, have you used synthetic on the old one, or
ever since I learned a little bit about it, so it's probably had synthetic going through it for the last, I don't know, at least 8 years on it.
Okay. So obviously Jim is a huge fan of the Chevy Suburban. He's got over 500,000 miles. It's definitely a vehicle worth looking at if you're looking for an SUV that's going to last a long time. What I always liked about doing these videos is I always like to look at the cars for sale right now. You know, you could get a Chevy Suburban, say an early 2000 Suburban, for $5,000 or $6,000 with 200,000 miles on it. Jim put 344,000 miles on his truck. Well, even if you drove that for another 10 years with a 200,000 mile car, you'd finally catch up to Jim. So it's definitely, a very good used vehicle, as long as it's taken care of. Jim wasn't nice to his vehicles. Here's the other thing to think about is if you're in the northern states and you're the Rust Belt, check out my other video. It doesn't cost that much money to fly to another state and drive a vehicle home. As I shared in my previous video, you can fly to, say, Texas, buy a rust-free Suburban with 200,000 miles on it for $5 or $6 grand, drive it home, and at least that way you don't have all that nasty rust on there like we do in the northern states. So, hope you found this helpful. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel if you want to see more videos like this. I've got a lot more great content coming your way, getting it out as fast as I can, and I really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.